November 13th, 2020. My name is Christopher Saunders, and this is the Connecticut Sports Talent Show where we talk all things talents in Connecticut. And on today's show, I'm pleased to have the wide receiver, linebacker, and we hope in the spring quarterback for the Foran football program. He's a senior, Ben Geier. Ben, pleased to be able to have you on, man.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's great to be able to talk to a player who can not only play one position, but can play multiple positions. And we'll talk about that and kind of how that could be, I think, in my opinion, a good thing as far as recruitment. And I know it's something that lack of film is the biggest part for you. But first off, I kind of just want to talk about, the pandemic and just about how it's affected you and the team, because I'm sure when you were training earlier in this pandemic, there probably were thoughts that maybe there would be a season.
Yeah, absolutely. So with everything going on, it was tough. Just having the season go back and forth, and our goal was to just keep working and just stay with the focus of having a season and just to keep working because a lot of people in the summer and people, just the football players, a lot of people got lazy and just didn't want to really work or anything. So my team and the other captains thought it would be just like have everyone stay with our goals and keep pushing and keep working. So
Now, how did you and the rest of the captains, seniors, even if they weren't captains, how did you guys kind of keep the morale and make sure that guys were at least sticking to, because you can't worry about, okay, well, this guy on this team is not following protocol and whatnot. I mean, you can only worry about what's in your own house. So, how
mhm.
did you guys make sure that you guys were following protocol and doing things the right way so that way there could, at least at the time, be a fall season?
So with our team, I think everyone's pretty focused and everyone has the same goals. So it was actually pretty easy to make sure everyone was following like all the COVID stuff because we all want a season, we all want to play football, and that's really our number one goal, especially the seniors.
And
And I
I
think
think.
the underclassmen have a good understanding of that for the
Mhm.
seniors as well. So
And those seniors, I mean, thinking about, and I've mentioned this to Coach Drew many, many times, I felt like you guys, this was the season where you guys would pop because you were 1-9 a couple years ago, 5-5. I mean, you were making incremental steps where, I mean, if you guys went 7-3, 8-2, I wouldn't be shocked because you were making the steps. I've seen it, in all the years I've been broadcasting. I can't tell you how many teams I've seen go from really bad to really good in just a 3 to 4 year period. And I felt like you guys would have been one of those teams.
yeah, absolutely. Especially because our first year coach, it was Coach Drew's first year coaching. Last year, we had a great group of seniors. We had a great captains, Andrew, Will, Max, Caden, really bringing everything together. Coach Drew emphasizes a good culture, a good family environment, and that really has made us better every year. And I think this year we definitely would have uh, gotten better from last year. We got a great group of guys. I think, one of the best wide receivers in the whole state, Jack Dowd. Me and him been best friends since like kindergarten, and this year really would have been the year for us.
And to go back to Coach, Drew, you mentioned the first season was the year you guys went 1-9.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk to me about kind of what has been, I don't want to say the change, but just tell me about the culture from his first year till now. Because like I said, to be able to have a team be successful, it starts with the culture, being able to make sure everything is fixed there, and then you can go off with the winning. And I feel like things have just been getting better every year.
Yeah, absolutely. So our first year, or his first year, he had a group of seniors that had Coach Ravino all 3 years before. So that was a big change for them. Way different coach. Um, and then our my senior year now would have been because I was a sophomore. So we were his first group where we were only varsity. Like he was the only varsity coach we saw. So for from then to now, I think we just have a better connection. We know what he likes. He knows what we like, and we just know how to connect like as a family better.
How did he communicate to you guys? I mean, because I'm sure, you guys were as stressed as can be and dealing with a lot of things physically and mentally because of not knowing, being told one day there's a season, next day there isn't. And then it's almost like they were dangling the carrot. So
Mhm.
how did Coach Drew, because I'm sure he handled, the situation as mature and as positive as he could be. So how was he with the team and you in particular?
Well, there really wasn't like too much anyone could really do, to be honest, but he did everything we could. Just to remind us daily, just to like keep working. We're gonna have a season, just because we've worked so hard to just give up now. Like it's too close. Like it doesn't make sense to just ruin all of our hard work by just stopping and giving up. So he just really pushed that down our throats to just keep working and just keep grinding.
Do you think that there's a chance that there will be a spring season, or does the rising number of cases kind of make that a little bit more stickier?
I do think it makes it a little more stickier, especially with winter sports getting postponed too. I know they had their season shortened last year in the playoffs, so I wouldn't be surprised if that had anything to do with it. But that doesn't change my mental state with everything going on. I'm still gonna work as hard as I was if there was a season in the spring.
It really sounds, just, by hearing you talk and kind of seeing how, you know, I mentioned earlier about kind of the lack of film and not being able to have tape to be able to show to college coaches. I mean, I refer back many times to the article that Sean McFarland wrote a couple weeks ago about many players, one of them in particular, Lafferty, the quarterback for Southington, who was saying that coaches wanted to have him, or they were saying they were interested, but they wanted to see film because they
Mhm.
weren't seeing 11 on 11. I mean, 7 on 7. One coach in particular said, I really can't take much out of 7 on 7. So I think, going to you in particular, I feel like the spring for someone like yourself could be as crucial as possible because a school or many schools who could be interested in having you on the team, if there isn't the film, then it leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah, for sure. Um, So with that, I we just finished the 7-on-7 season. I got a lot of film for that. I think quarterback it could be a little different, being able to like read stuff. So I think film could be more so than like wide receiver. It's more physical, obviously. So from a quarterback standpoint, I think film is usable, but definitely I think the spring would absolutely give me the best possibility of playing in college.
And if there isn't a spring season, because let's just, hypothetically, there isn't, I
Mhm.
would almost think that college coaches would have to, in some ways, kind of, if even if they're not for the 7 on 7, at least it's something.
Yeah.
It could be nothing, and the kid, you could have been like, you know what, I don't want to do 7 on 7. I'm just gonna, train on my own, do whatever, because 7 on 7 is a joke. I'm not saying you were thinking that. I'm just saying how some could have reacted. But
Mhm.
no, you still put in the work. You still showed your face, tried to do the best you could with what you were dealt. And I think college coaches seeing that, plus seeing your grades,
Mhm.
seeing the fact of doing something like this, being able to see your maturity, hearing you speak. I would think that, this is 2020, probably going to be most of 2021, depending on who you listen and talk to. So if, you can bend the curve, bend it a little bit
Yeah.
to kind of see that this is who this player is, try to go beyond the film.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely.
But like it's one of those things where, you know, I hope that they can do that, but I kind of want to turn the page real quick to you play three positions: wide receiver, linebacker, quarterback.
Mhm.
Obviously, you mentioned to me your favorite position and your main goal is you want to play quarterback at the next level.
Mhm.
But if a coach comes up to you and says, "Hey, I think you could be a wide receiver, you could be this player, just insert whoever." Are you willing to make that change even though you want to be quarterback?
Absolutely. I've always been someone that's going to do whatever's best for the team, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes, whether it's play defense, but play this position you've never played. I'll study it and figure it out to the best of my ability, and I'll give it my all. So it doesn't matter what position now.
Do you think playing multiple positions, kind of like the way I view, before, I don't know if you're a baseball fan, but before
Yeah, I
baseball
play
started,
baseball as well.
oh, perfect.
Mhm.
Now, baseball before started going to picking off guys off the broadcast street and who have no managerial experience, they were hiring guys who were former catchers like Sosha,
Mhm.
Girardi, Bochy, you can kind of go down the line. But the point I'm trying to make is, I think having a player like yourself playing multiple positions, both offense and defense so well. And, as a quarterback, now you could use that as your advantage because now it's like, oh, if I was that linebacker, what would I be doing in this situation? And then you can call off. I mean, there's so many ways to look at
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Just like you said, being a quarterback, playing wide receiver and linebacker has made me understand like finding the holes in the defense, finding like responsibilities of linebackers, like the drops, and like really, especially this season. I'm not gonna lie, last year, if or this season, if we didn't have the 7-on-7, I wouldn't have been able to read defenses like I do. This 7-on-7, I really took just responsibility in the playbook and in the books, and trying to figure out what is best for my team and like where to put the ball, the timing, and just getting the little details was really important, especially because I know multiple positions, like you said.
You see, I'm a big believer in you can take advantage of what is given to you, or you can just say, you know what, I'm not interested. Maybe this won't do much for me. But if you say no to something, then you have no idea what it could potentially hold for you.
Yeah,
But if
guys,
you say yes, now you leave the door open, or there's multiple doors that you can go through. And just like you said, you took advantage of a situation. If you didn't have the 7-on-7, and let's say there is a spring season, now you're so behind that by the time that you got comfortable, because you got to remember, from I think it was March 17th to April 19th, that's only about 4 or 5 games. So
Mhm.
now you may feel comfortable in that fifth game, and then, oh, the film I have
Okay.
through the first four, I can't use this. And then that fifth game, who knows? But now, if there is a season, now you're ready to go game one, if not game two, and now
Mhm.
you have multiple games of film to show to coaches.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, that's a very good point.
But I kind of want to go real quick to the linebacker position. Now, is that the first position that you played, or was it wide receiver?
Uh, well, freshman sophomore year I was a quarterback, and then because of Andrew, I played wide receiver,
Okay.
and I
So
was his backup
do
too,
you
actually.
think in some ways that was good because, being able to go from quarterback, freshman, sophomore, and then maybe I'm sure you were competitive, you wanted to be out there playing quarterback, but still being able to be on the field and having the willingness to play that other position really kind of showed the kind of character that you have.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially being able to be Andrew's backup, playing wide receiver for him. Me and Andrew were very close. He's literally my neighbor. He lives right in front of me, so we were able to have like a real good connection, and worked out a lot. He helped me a lot with quarterbacks. So
Are
yeah,
you still, do you still, I'm sure you still talk to him as far as
yeah,
just trying to pick his
mhm,
brain as much as possible.
yeah, for sure. He's at Stonehill. He's playing at Stonehill.
Oh, nice. Good for him.
Yeah.
Congrats. That's a very good program.
Yep.
Now, going back to that real quick, as far as picking his brain, and I'm sure he's busy with, his own stuff as well, but has there been a point, was there a point during the pandemic where you were talking with him either about the quarterback position, maybe kind of how, in some ways, how you both were dealing with the pandemic because you both being college football, high school football, and so on?
Yeah. There was a period of time where we started 7-on-7, and he said he was just doing like lifts, and then they were gonna start a 7-on-7 at a point. But
Mhm.
now I think he started his 7-on-7s, and they're able to do a little bit more stuff.
Good, man. That's real good. I mean, hey, any way to be able to get on the field and just try to do something. I mean, look, college football, I saw Utah's not playing because of, they don't have enough eligible players. And then the SEC, I think there's what, 3 or 4 games already that
Mhm.
are postponed. So, I don't know if there's going to be, you know, I've heard a lot of people talk about the college football, playoff, if there's even going to be a season. But, main concern for you guys is have a spring season. Now, when that's going to be, I don't know, but I think the main part is to try to do as much as possible for you and others who, if they don't have enough film or don't have enough to show to coaches, to try to get it out any way possible, either with film. We talked about the interviews, workouts. I've seen a lot of athletes. Have you thought about doing workouts potentially to try to get that out?
What do you mean workouts? Like
Workouts like,
showcases or
a 40-yard dash
yeah,
or
I just went to a
anything.
showcase the other day, for
Nice.
example. Yeah.
So tell me about the showcase. How'd that go?
It was pretty good. They didn't send any results out yet, so I'm not sure what I ran or anything, but it was good. It was in Newtown. There was a good amount of people. It took a little long because of all the COVID and stuff. Everyone had to be spread out. You had to go in like cohorts, and it was good though. It was definitely a good experience. It was my first one, and I plan on probably doing a few more to get my stuff out there.
What kind of drills did you do?
There was a 40-yard dash, vertical, and then I threw, and then there's people running routes, and then there's like the defensive stuff as well.
Was there any college coach? I'm sure I don't know if there was any college coaches, but was there any contact or anybody say anything about college coaches by any chance?
No, I don't believe there's any college coaches there, but the whole purpose of this specific showcase was they were taking film of everyone and they were sending them. They're gonna edit it, give them the film, and send it to us. I think they said January, February. They said it would take a few months. So.
Okay. Yeah, because I
Mhm.
was going to say, I think it'd be good to try to get that film. So then that way you can send it out to, a mass email to all the coaches or schools that you're interested in. So that way at least, they can see something. And then you could build from there and say, oh, I have, the grades, I have this, I have that. Because, especially now with what we're dealing with, I feel like if you overflow them with a lot of stuff, they can't be they can't say, "Oh no, I don't want all this info." I would think they'd want as much as possible, right?
Yeah, for sure. So
But
I definitely think the showcases are important.
mhm.
I think I could do better than the last one I did, so I think I gotta definitely do some more of those.
What can you improve on since we're on the showcase? What do you think that you can improve on for the next time?
For the next one, just with 7-on-7s, we weren't conditioning a lot, and I hurt my hip before the showcase of like a couple weeks. So I would like to get my 40 time better than it was. It wasn't a bad one, I don't think, but I know I could do better for sure.
What was your 40 time?
I don't know.
Oh,
They didn't send it out yet.
I was gonna say, do you feel like you were running fast?
Yeah, but I know I can do better for sure.
Have you ran a 40 time before or no?
Yeah, last year, before last season, it was around a 4.8.
Good for you. I can't
Yeah.
even. I'm probably like a 5'6", maybe. I was I played soccer back in the day. Not that fast. Physical,
Yeah.
not that fast. But hey, that's really good though, because again, something for you to build on. And I think it goes back to the point of the way the game is kind of changing now with, again, I'm sure you watch the NFL, you see
Mhm.
it. Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, you're seeing the quarterbacks with Trevor Lawrence, Lance at South or North Dakota.
Mhm.
I feel like with the game changing, mobile quarterbacks are now becoming the thing again. And
Yeah,
I feel
absolutely.
like I feel like with you in particular, to be able to have that speed and have that agility to go vertically and horizontally, I feel like really makes you an attractive piece for colleges, right?
Mhm. Yeah, that's definitely a big part of our offense. I know, uh, I talked to Coach Drew. A big part of our offense this season was going to be me running the ball, just fakes, just stuff like that. Because freshman sophomore year, because you don't really throw too much freshman sophomore year. I remember just running a lot, just most of the plays, like probably I'd say 50%. Just freshman year, not a lot of touchdowns. I remember sophomore year, I had a lot of rushing touchdowns though. So
So I would be thinking a lot of RPOs, zone read, those
yeah,
kind of things.
RPOs are big. Hmm.
Hey, everyone's doing it. Hey, Nick Foles won a Super Bowl doing RPOs,
Yep.
but at the same time, don't become Lamar Jackson because Lamar Jackson can't throw outside the numbers and now he's
Hmm.
being exposed.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't
So
get caught. Hmm.
is that going to
Got
be a
medical board.
part? Is that going to be a part of something? I didn't mean to cut you off. Is that going to be something that you can, because obviously you have the speed, and once you're healthy, I'm sure you're going to get below the 4.8, 4.7 that you want, and I'm sure you'll run a better 40. But is that something that you want to try to improve on? Is your throwing because you don't have the reps to be able to say, okay, I can do this on the outside?
Are you talking about throwing or what
Yes,
you
and
think?
throwing, be able to throw outside the numbers.
Oh, I think I have a good arm, so
Mm.
I like throwing outside the numbers. We, especially our team, we love throwing the ball deep. We love deep balls. We love throwing that thing up there. But yeah, throwing outside numbers is not a problem for us.
Okay, that's good. I haven't been able to watch a foreign football game yet, but I
Mhm.
look forward to hopefully if there's a season in the spring, I want to be able to catch one because I mean, the name of the game, throw it deep. I mean, we're
Yeah,
seeing how many times in the NFL and college game?
yeah. But
Also,
yeah, our receivers love going up. Jack Dowd, like I said before, great wide receiver. Probably I'd say up there for best in the state for sure. Loves going upstairs.
hey,
Big going upstairs, guys.
if you've got wide receivers that are 6 foot and above, or if they can get up there,
Mhm. Throw it
why
up.
not
Yeah,
just throw it up and say, "Here you go, big guy, go get it."
yeah, exactly.
especially because now, I mean, again, this is high school football. You're not facing a cornerback who is 6 foot or above.
Hmm.
Maybe some, but a lot of them are below 6 feet. So if you've got a wide receiver who's that tall, or you have multiple guys like that, as a quarterback, you're like, all right, I'm just going to throw it up and say, you're
Yeah,
going to get every time.
yeah, pre-snap.
Yeah.
See something, you got to throw it up.
Nice, man. But hey, Ben, I really do appreciate you coming on. I have one more question for you, real quick. Now, obviously, college coaches will be seeing this, and others will have an opportunity to be able to hopefully watch at least some film on you and even have a chance to contact you if they want to talk to you more. So, as a senior, as a player who's hoping for the spring, what are the things that you are going to be showcasing? Because we'll assume that now there will be a season. What will you be showcasing your talents? How in the spring? What will you be doing?
In the spring, I'm looking to just make sure everyone's on the same page, getting the linemen into the system, making sure in the preseason before the spring, make sure the linemen are all caught up. Make sure everyone's on the same page, the same goal, win every game, get better every week, and just make sure everyone is having fun. And just because this is the last time a lot of the guys on our team are going to play. So just really make sure everyone is on the same page is what we're going to try and do, and just have fun.
I hope that there's going to be a spring season for your sake and for other seniors, juniors, and so forth who are trying to get their looks as much as possible so that, they have a chance to play at the next level. But, Ben, I really do appreciate you coming on. You're welcome to come back on anytime.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. Now wrap things up in the Connecticut Sports Talent Show. So until next time, stay safe. Remember, CT stands for Connecticut Talent, and I'm on a journey to find them all. Have a good one, everybody, and be well.